Hey guys, it's ViewMasters Reactions, and this video is to update everybody for every show that I was doing or I did do or that I will be doing. If you guys didn't watch the video I put out like a month or two ago, I finally set up Patreon. It was a little rough going in the first couple weeks. I was trying to figure out how to upload things, the best way to do it because you got to pay for memory and stuff like that. Patreon recommends you use Vimeo, so I started using Vimeo. It seems to be working very well, so at this point I'm pretty comfortable with the Patreon thing. I didn't want to put another video up until I started getting a lot of content on Patreon so that when people actually go look for it, there's not like two videos. Because in the beginning, I was struggling a little bit, and I think I had like 4 videos up, and 2 out of the 4 videos, you had to go to Vimeo's website to link it to the Patreon. All I know is it took me a little bit, but I figured it out, and now it's running very smoothly. So there is all the tier levels are up there. I'll put a link in the description below, but if you go on there and look, it's ViewMasters Reactions. There are tier levels that allow you to request a show of your choice. They have already gotten me to do episode 1 of Banshee, episode 1 of Star Trek Discovery. I had already done Star Trek Next Generation, but CBS made me pull it from my channel. So now it is on Patreon, and there is a good chance I will continue that show at some time or another. I also am starting Fringe this week on Patreon. Eventually, all these shows will pop up on my channel. I just have to find the time to edit them all up. The thing is, with Patreon, it's so easy to do. I watch the episode in full with an intro and an exit real briefly, and then I throw it right up on Patreon. There's no editing that has to be done. It just goes right up on the channel. So it's much easier for me to watch these things and throw them immediately on Patreon. Then when I get time, I'll edit them up and throw them on, like Barry and Misfits and Deadwood. Those 3 shows are basically channel shows. I'm going to be doing them as weekly as I possibly can. If you guys don't know my situation, basically right at the exact time I started Patreon, my mother had a really bad fall, was hospitalized for 2 months. So Patreon launched at like probably the worst time, but it was one of those things where like I was ready to go and I wanted to get it up there. I also needed to mess around with it a little bit to get it right. So I figured might as well figure it out now than put it off for another couple months. So right now I have enough subscribers on Patreon that it more than pays for the amount of memory I need to upload the videos to Patreon. And that's all I really care about. I'm not looking to make money off it. I'm trying to funnel all the money back in. I was under the impression that you could just throw videos up and Patreon and it didn't matter. I wasn't aware that you had to pay a monthly subscription to even have the Patreon to be able to upload the videos. So it's basically like I'm paying a subscription to give you guys the ability to have a subscription to me. So it is a little different than I thought. Once you figure it out, it's pretty simple, but it does cost money. But now that I have the swing of it, I'm going to try to start throwing out a ton of content. So the reason I'm doing this is to let you guys know that I will start getting the chopped up episodes on my YouTube channel. I'm making this video to let you guys know that once the new year starts, it's going to go back to the way it was in the beginning. I'm going to start getting multiple episodes of multiple shows out per week. I'm going to start catching up. Just so you guys know, just because you saw a lack of shows on the YouTube channel doesn't mean I wasn't doing anything. The reason I'm making this video is to allow people to know that yes, the episodes will be chopped up and put on my channel within the next couple weeks. But right now on my Patreon, I'm up to episode 3, season 2 of Misfits. I'm up to episode 6 of Barry season 2. I am starting Deadwood season 2, but episodes 11 and 12 that aren't on my channel yet, concluding season 1, are already up on Patreon. I'm going to start banging out Adventure Times on Patreon. I already have every full episode of the entire season of Mandalorian up on my Patreon. And there's at least 1 or 2 episodes of the following shows here: Banshee, Star Trek Discovery, Star Trek Next Generation, and Fringe. Fringe I'm doing tonight, so Fringe will be on in full probably tomorrow, as well as Adventure Time episodes. I'm also going to start up Always Sunny in Philadelphia again. I just didn't put it up there because there's only like 2 or 3 episodes left and the season's over. So I didn't want to congest the whole thing with pictures. The reason I'm doing this video is to let people know there is a ton of content on my Patreon now. All full episode reactions to all the shows you see here, some multiple episodes, some almost the entire seasons at this point. What I was trying to do was I was trying to get a jump so people that go to Patreon don't say like, hey, why am I paying money to subscribe when you're basically like on the same episode as you are on YouTube? It's just the YouTube is chopped up. Some of the shows are so short, people are like, I really don't care that you have the full reaction of Barry on your Patreon because you have two-parters that show the majority of the episode anyway. I've gotten 3 to 4 episodes ahead in Misfits, Barry, Deadwood, some longer than that. Mandalorian is done, and the other ones are exclusive to Patreon. So the only ones I really got to catch up on is Adventure Time and Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And those are easy because they're the shortest of the group. This way, if you guys see an episode show up on YouTube and you're like, hey, Jay, when's the next one come out? Since I can't really have a structured schedule of releasing shows because I run 2 companies, this is the easiest way for me to do it. Throw them up on Patreon whenever I get a chance, which happens often. And then the editing is what takes me all the time. So basically, Patreon is going to start getting flooded with content and shows. And then I'm going to try to get 2 or 3 shows out on the YouTube channel chopped up a week. We're going to run it like that from here on. We're going to see how things go. I still also do live streams every Sunday for football, but now the playoff week is starting. So basically for the next month, I will be doing live streams Saturdays and Sundays, and then I'm going to live stream the Super Bowl. If you're a sports fan, come watch. We also chat the entire time about movies and whatever you want. So it isn't like it's all football talk. A lot of it's sports related, but I would say 50% of our chats are about movies and television and random bullshit. And if you have any questions or you want to talk to me about anything at all, if you are a patron on Patreon, jump on the live streams and talk to me. I'm going to try to do one Friday or Saturday about best movies of the decade. So if you guys are interested in that, I'll probably throw up a thing and have some sort of notice, like a 2 or 3 day notice. But I work tonight, I'm doing Fringe after, and then after that, I have a couple days off of work. So I'm going to do my best to get as much content out as possible, but I hope this explained most of what I wanted to you guys. The lowest tier level is $3. That gets you full reactions to every show I do. At this point, I have over 20 or 30 episodes of full reactions of the shows to my right. The higher tiers get you the ability to request your own shows. Like I said earlier, certain people requested Banshee and Star Trek and stuff like that. Some of the higher tiers allow you to request an entire season of television. So go check it out. It doesn't cost anything to look at. And then eventually it'll all be up on YouTube for free for those of you who really don't care and just kind of watch to watch. So now everyone has an option. If you have any comments or any requests or anything at all, write it in the comments below. I'm doing this video real quick before work because I want everyone to understand how it's going to go starting tomorrow and then following with the new year. In 1 month, it is also my 1-year anniversary. I'm almost at 3,000 subscribers and I'm over 1 million views. So that's pretty cool in itself. This week, we're going to do a lot of live streams for the new year. You'll see them pop up on my channel with a couple days notice. Feel free to jump in those, but please, 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 comments down below, like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys on the next one. Really excited for the new year. Really excited to see how this all goes. Like I said, it's kind of touch and go. So I appreciate all the input and all the info and all your comments. So Happy New Year. And I'll see you guys tomorrow or the next day or the day after that and from here on for the rest of time. Peace.